Hello, Jess here from Sister Sue's Crochet. Welcome back to my pre-beginner crochet series. In the last few videos, I have shown you guys how to make different stitches, starting with a single crochet and then working up to the double treble crochet. So now I kind of wanted to go into the anatomy of your stitches, because when you very first start, it's really hard to tell what you're doing since you're not familiar with how the stitches are supposed to look. And there's a lot of terminology that you might come across that you're like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what a post is. I don't know what the front loop is. So we're going to kind of go over that in this video, just so that way that you have a better idea of what your stitches look like and all the different components that make up your stitch. So I had shown you before that when you're counting your stitches, a lot of times it's easier to count the V's. So that V, that's considered, there's a front loop and then there's a back loop. And that's going to be the same for any crochet stitch. You're always going to have that at the top. And that is where you would work your stitch into for your next row. You would go right underneath the front and the back loop there. Also, you'll see this coming down, and this is called your post. So there are some other techniques that are called front post and back post crochet. We can get more into that later, but this is called the post. So if it's easier for you now that we've worked up past single crochet, because a lot of times with single crochet you don't really have much of a post here because it is a smaller stitch. So I went ahead and did just a row of double crochets, and I just wanted to use this as an example so that way I could show you what you're really looking at. So when you went ahead and count your stitches, you could actually count the posts, which helps me when I'm using a larger stitch like a double crochet or a treble crochet. It's easier for me to just count the posts. So you could do your chain, your starting chain would be your first stitch, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So each one of these is one of your stitches. So every stitch is going to have a post, and it's going to have these front and back loops up at the top. So hopefully that answers a couple questions for you, in case maybe you were a little confused about what you were looking at. Maybe you were going, I know when I first started, I didn't know what I was looking at, and I would do multiple stitches in the same stitch because I didn't realize that each one of these was its own stitch. So your work is not going to be real neat when you very first start, because you're kind of learning your tension and everything like that. So you might have stitches that are different size, and they're not going to be uniform, but it does help if you kind of know what you're looking for. So you always want to look for the front and back loop here and that post for every stitch. So hopefully that's been helpful to you. Just a little trick of the trade that kind of helped me when I first started. So any questions or anything, just go ahead and leave them below on this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also look me up on Facebook at facebook.com/sistersuz, SISTERSUZ. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.